Hello traders, Samurai Trader here. Welcome to this recorded session. I'm going to be covering some live trades that I undertook today. It's the Globex market for Tuesday the 26th of the 4th. 5 trades, 5 wins, but as you're about to see, 2 of them are really almost scratch trades. You'll see why they in a moment anyway, but they were still winners. They weren't losers, which is the main thing. Plus I want to give you some tips and ideas, so we'll look at the live charts in a moment. But before we get underway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, bottom right hand corner, click and subscribe. I want more subscribers. So down the bottom, I think it's on the bottom right hand corner, I can't see it, it says subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe, and even more, go to my website and get my ebook and find out more about what I do. As we get underway, as always, I know most of you my regular viewers, got to put this up by law. Of course, don't trade with the rent money. Learn how to trade correctly. Trade in sim. Master the simulator until you go live, please. If you haven't read this disclaimer before, please do. Bottom right hand corner, to go to full screen, we are about to look at some charts. We'll look at the charts live, and so if you could go to full screen, it will just make it easier to see what you're about to see. So as we get underway, traders, many of you know I've got hundreds of members around the world. I think the last time I checked, I've got clients and members in 27 countries around the world, and the constant thing is that over 70% of them are experienced traders, and some of them come to me really wounded. That is, they've had a hard time, they've blown their accounts multiple times, etc. And when I get or have Skype calls or do one-to-one coaching, this is probably the best bit of advice I can give you as traders, because I'm going to show you some kick butt strategies again today, and I trade the same ones every day. And for you to do it, simply hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone expects of you. The biggest thing I hear from traders every day, and I know you get sick of me talking about this, is lack of discipline, lack of patience, lack of focus. I've been guilty of that, and where I've made mistakes in business and in my life, it's always been lack of discipline, lack of focus, and lack of patience. Traders, absolutely essential for you to succeed. Type this up, have it in front of you. You can develop the skill set to do what I do. You can learn how to trade successfully, but what you've got to do is set a baseline standard that no matter what, you will follow. Now, what I'm about to show you again today is, traders, I learn something new every day. I'm still a student. After it's now over 24 years, I'm always learning. I learn something new every day. Now, if you haven't already done so, please grab your spiral notebook. And traders, I say, don't have a notepad because they end up just messy. Have a spiral binder. Have a many of you have seen in other videos where I've got spiral binders that I take copious notes in every day. It allows me to go back and do my research. It's really important. I'm going to give you some ideas today that are absolute winners, but you need to record them because you forget them. We're human. So in the end, trading is not rocket science. Trading is nothing more than a pattern solving exercise. Now, once again, I'm a momentum trader. The market's just coming out of a bit of a because of a London Open now, of a pre-open, it's just coming out of a sideways range. I hate range bound markets. If you see me and my losses, usually it's because I get caught in chop, and I think most traders do. So I'm after momentum. So very simply, traders, all you've got to do is learn a small number of patterns. That's all you've got to do. Now, before we go to the charts, here's something to think about. What is, now it should be one word, shouldn't it? Something to think about. What is your daily target, and how do you achieve my target, or how do I achieve my target stress-free? Well, got 4 question marks because I'm after 20 odd years, I'm still not stress-free when I trade. Some traders are, particularly if you're a prop trader or you're trading someone else's money. It's not as much stress, but just something for you to think about. This is something that, particularly because now with the prop work I'm doing with the firm, I'm trading purely the ES, And the big thing, I rack myself every day, and you'll see it on the charts in a moment. Okay, my target is 400 plus a day per contract, so that's 9 4-tick trades a day. But of course, with a 6-tick stop, it means my risk reward is out. However, there are 4-tick opportunities everywhere, little scalps non-stop. Okay, or if I want to make it less stressful, I have dropped down to 7 5-tick trades a day, or whatever. Of course, if you're trading on the NQ, or if you're trading the YM, or CL, whatever it may be, just work out how many trades a day and then have a look at how many opportunities. Or 6, and that's actually meant to be let me just change that for you. 6 tick trades a day, 6 by ES. Now a tick on the ES, by the way, for those that don't know the ES, it's $12.50 a tick. So 6 ES tick tricks, gee, let me get that right. 6 by 6, here we go, tick trades a day equals 400 a day. So only making 6 trades a day is a lot easier than 9. You've got to allow for a couple of losses, some losses in between there, of course, but for achieving 4-tick and 5-tick trades are a lot easier than going for 6. Okay, and you see that all the time, the way the market moves in waves. Okay, and even on some recent testing that Ricardo did, as he pointed out, one of the strategies with the least drawdown was targeting, I think it was 85% win rate, 5 ticks, and that was the optimum profit target. So just something for you to think about when you're looking at your trading. So anyway, all of this and a whole lot more, of course, is in my Day Traders Fast Track program. Once again, if you haven't, we're about to go to it. Don't leave. We're about to go to the charts. I promise you, I'm about to give you show you some great things. Once again, all of this is in the Day Traders Fast Track program. And read the room. Just read the trading room. I had a third interview with a great trader who used to actually work with me previously. So we're getting closer every day to the room. So traders, we're getting really close. So members, I'm going to give an update on the live trading room in the members area on my Google Drive late this week. So that's progressing very, very nicely. So we are getting closer. I know a lot of you are hanging out for a live trading room. So let's have a look at today's action. Now what we're looking at here is the ES 233 volume. Now let me say a couple of things. First of all, this chart looks really busy. We've got down here, we've got our stochastics indicator, our 2 smooth, we've got our platinum here. Do you know what, in trading this, I'm not even really using these indicators here. Yes, I've marked them up here and here and here, but traders, one thing, when you really get used to trading pure price action, as the old floor traders do, and as most of the prop traders do in the firms and the banks, you just really use your moving averages for your trend direction. You're trading pure price action, and I just wanted to mention that for those people that look at this chart because it looks messy. It also looks messy because I put a whole lot of stuff on there and gunk, but because I wanted to explain some trades. Okay, so the market closed, of course, from the standard New York session, closed for now, then it reopens. So I've got here what to do here. Now what you can see is you've got a lot of support here on the 200 and the 89. Look at this here. This is an area where it's really easy to blow your account. Okay, and we'll look at what's just been happening now. This is almost like a killing field here. You'll just get chopped up really badly. So I shorted the market here on a T20. Okay, so I shorted, taking a punt, because here price had come down a couple of ticks. I was prepared to take a punt. All right, it went down +4, so it hit +4 maximum. It started to, I let it come up. Okay, I thought, well, it might come up and come back down, but it went back down +4, then it reversed, and I got out at +1 tick. I was willing to roll it. But traders, here's what the point I wanted to make is, for really, if you want to have lower risk, want to feel more comfortable with your trading, when you see your 34 or your MAs horizontal, don't even bother trading. Okay, yes, I took it I was prepared for that. But if you're concerned, or if you've got a really small account, just wait for these breakouts. Okay, wait to see the bubbles, which I'm about to explain. Don't trade when you've got all of these moving averages horizontal, because look at the support there, bang up, bang. Okay, now what I want to bring up also is about these trend lines. There's a lot of confusion about drawing trend lines. If you use fractal points, which are these little black dots here, and of course made very famous through Bill Williams and his work with the theory of chaos and all that sort of thing, all of his books down that road. So the theory of chaos, by drawing trend lines on fractal points there, there was one here if I remember correctly, or wherever it was, to draw here, and of course then I did a parallel. Here there was a fractal point there were no other fractal points until there. You draw it, I then did a parallel line, there's my channel, and here's my break. Traders, if you're not familiar with fractals, please Google it and look it up, but don't go and buy any expensive software or anything like that. You don't need it. Now once again, when you become a member with me, I give you all the indicators. If you've got TradeStation, NinjaTrader, we've now got them all now, I think, for Thinkorswim, and I think a lot of them now we've got coded for MT4. I give them to you in the course, so don't even go and buy them, pay hundreds of dollars for indicators. I give them to you. So fractals are really important for geometric trading. Okay, so let's get into here and talk about here. We had a really nice T20, which I missed because I went for a workout while this was on. So here, this is like watching oil paint dry. I got out at +1, so it was 125 minus the commission, so it's about $75–80 there. I then missed out on the T20, a really nice T20, and off it went. Now what I wanted to point out was, on that little chart I showed you before on targeting, these are mini T25 traders. These, and for my students, you know what T25s are, members. T25s in strong trending markets, you only need one candle pullbacks, and they can really rock it. And all of these are all great, all good for 5 ticks, 5 points, 5 ticks actually. So really take notice when you really see these moving quickly. Now here, this price action moved quite quickly up here, but you know, you see a lot of this every trading day. Now one of the things I wanted to say about trading Globex is this, and here it is here: slower markets allow you to move your stops and targets if required. Of course, if you're trading the ES 1000 volume, which I do during the New York hours, that can really fly. If it goes too quick, I'll stand aside. If it's moving too quick, lift the time frame from 1000 to maybe 1500 or to 2000. Slow it down. It just gives you some more thinking time. So up the top here, I jumped in another trade. Now I've got here, why was this a higher risk CT trade? Traders, as I say every video, until you're profitable trend trading, please, I recommend you do not do counter trend trading, which is what these two trades are. Anyway, so why was this a higher risk trade? Well, there was no divergence, but what I had was angulation, and I had a bubble. Look at the price action. It gapped right away from the 8 EMA. When you see price action gapping away from the magic 8, the trigger line 8, okay, get ready to trade. Okay, so if you're going to do the counter trend trades, but I just want to, in a way, I shouldn't even show you some of these, because I don't want newer traders or those that are rebuilding their careers to counter trend trade, okay, because you can be slammed by them. But when I see these, and even down here, which I wasn't here when this happened, I actually left to go to my daughter's school, had a big fire there yesterday, so I left early to go to the school. But so up here, I jumped in here. Now this is higher risk because I jumped in. You can see here I didn't even have the close under the 8. I had no divergence, but I was prepared for it. But the market was moving quite slowly, so I thought, okay, I can move my stops. It ticked down 3 ticks in my direction, started to tick up, and I got a bounce off the MA here, and I got out at +1. Okay, so I was in early, but then I had a perfect T7 here, and I shorted 2x10 lots. Now on the 2x10 lots, I trade 0.5% of my account per lot, so I can take up to 4 positions at any one time. So I shorted 2 lots here on the T7. I had a close under the 8, perfect T7 counter trend T. It's just a classic. Okay, and it was off angulation and off a T89. Right, so that's a very high probability. And look at this here, I'm well under the zero line. Okay, I'm excited. All right, so I jump in 2 lots. Okay, it ticks up a little and then it turns down. Now here's one thing I want to show you on. Please write this down. When you get a double top like this, and notice how here this is the low, and then you get another lower low. So see there, I know there's a lot of crap here. Let me actually just try to remove this for you. Okay, just try to move this stuff here. Now see this low here, come down, bounced up, then it rolled over. But see this here, see the tails, it's lower than this. So this is a second lower low. It's gone up, reversed, which is a lower high. Okay, these are very high probability trades, and it's right on, traders, it's almost a T20. So I had a T20, and actually I'm going to explain this to members, this brown line, later on. That's, I'll put that in, this one in the members area later on. This one here, by the way, traders, I might as well tell you, it's a 21 EMA. It works really well as part of your T20 on Globex, and I recommend the Globex market only. Still use your 34 during the New York session, but have a look at the 21 during the Globex. It works really nicely and it'll get you in 2 to 3 ticks earlier. So not only did I then have this lower low come up and reversed, okay, but then I had basically a T20. Now here I placed an order to short another actually it was another 20 but I only got short on one contract because it took off on me. Okay, so it took off. I wasn't prepared to chase it, and I got out there, I think it was, what was that, 6 ticks or whatever it was here on only one contract instead of the full 10. And that's the difference when you're using market orders. Of course, generally market orders, you're going to get filled on all the contracts, but you'll get slippage, and even on only a 10 lot on the ES after hours, you will usually get at least 1 tick slip. Okay, so you just got to be aware of that. So if you're just using a dome order, which is what I did there, I had specific price, the market took off, I only got filled on one of those, so I canceled the rest of the order. Now some of these contracts up here, the same thing happened. So I got 8 ticks on some of the contracts and 7 on the others, because the market moved away. I had to pull my order down to get filled at a lower price. So that was a really nice one, and my target here was the 89. Okay, so we come down, we bounce, it was 19.25. I didn't even include this little one over here, which I don't know what that was. I think it was only $75 is only one. But then we had these little T25s, okay, 2 in a trend after a T20. In a fast moving market, they kick butt really nicely. Now notice there's no real major pullback, but they work really well. Now once again here, we've got the fractal points, fractal point to a fractal point. Okay, and just for interest, let's just have a look at this here. I just want to do a parallel line just to show you this. So I'm just gonna have to pull this over here for a sec. Where are we here? Okay, so there's your channel there. You can see here you've almost going on the channel, but here then here we had the break. All right, so I just want to remove this channel here. But channels in a slow moving market, start drawing channels, but notice the fractal points. Okay, your black dot, they're the ones you use for doing your trend lines. Now some years ago, going back about 8 years ago, we did a heap of research on fractal point. Actually it was in 2000 and what was it, it's 2009. We did a heap of work on the Forex market research trading fractals, and it was incredibly profitable doing fractal breaks, incredibly profitable. So it works really well. So come down here, the market broke, we had a pivot bounce off a pivot, plus we had a nice double bottom. Remember, double bottoms don't have to be perfect, okay, within 2 ticks. Here you're within 1 tick. right? Really nice. Okay, yeah, then a nice T25, but then this is the spot here I just wanted to say here, great time to drain your account. Okay, be really careful of this here when you're starting to see all of your moving averages intertwined. Now what I've done here, you can see here I had a trend line here, basically here, fractal points here. I'm looking for a break above here, and here we get it, and this would be a good spot to get in. Okay, so traders, you know this is a T25, it's also a T2, and away it goes, and of course the market has taken off. So a point I wanted to make here was, traders, when you see your MAs sideways like this, unless you're really confident as a trader, just wait, do your trend lines, wait for a breakout, and to confirm it, let it run away, wait for your first pullback. Okay, so you can see here we've had a breakout. Where do we get in here? We could get in here, but we've got to place a stop down here somewhere. So here we had a nice pullback. It was a T25, a T2, then you even get a nice T1, and away you go for a nice profitable trade. So what you've got here is you want to wait for at least 3 of the 4 EMAs to confirm your trend. And one other little thing here, of course, is when you see your long term being pegged at the overbought, you're looking for longs. Okay, and when you start to see this, your long term in the middle of a window here, this is a great time if you want to drain your account. It's really easy to get chopped up. Now of course it's 5 p.m. here, well it's actually 5:19 now, and we've had the market open in London, or the pre-market actually, and the main market opens up in about 40 minutes, so we'll see a bit of this chopping around, but there's some nice little T7 here. You've got there this is a nice 32B actually, so you had a nice 32B. You've got one here basically as well, but you're right at the pivot, so you want to be really careful at the pivot. So traders, I've given you a whole lot of information. Go back and watch it a couple of times, but for my members, just remember, as I say always, focus on only 2 or 3 setups only, and preferably trend trading only. Once again, you can get into your counter trends once you're profitable, but as you can see there, just on the trend trades today, you could have really kick butt if you sat down when New York closed and reopened. So you get home from work in LA or New York or in Canada, you know, you've got a good 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours of trading. Yes, the market was very slow the first 90 minutes. Wait for your first breakout. That is, wait for it to break out of the zone, your first pullback, and jump in on that. Okay, so wait for that breakout, wait for your first pullback, then get in the market. So traders, if you're not already a member, please go and request my ebook. For $197 you get all of my updates, over 40 videos now, all the cheat sheets on the top 8 trading strategies. I'll teach you over 12 that are basically 90% plus rules based, plus I give you a set of indicators. Some of the indicators, thanks to, I've got some great members, were put together by some of my members for other members, but we give them to you. You don't have to buy your indicators. So traders, drop me an email. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.